Across the world, thousands of children claim to remember a life before. Typically, between the ages of 3 and 4, they begin telling their parents about a previous family, a name, or even the circumstances of their death. By the age of 7 or 8, these memories often fade away, much like morning mist dissolving under the sun. These stories are not mere coincidences. Since the mid-20th century, psychologists and psychiatrists have begun systematically collecting and studying such cases, the most notable being Dr. Stevenson. He and his team traveled through India, Sri Lanka, Myanmar, Turkey, and even Western countries, documenting thousands of children's accounts. What is astonishing is that many of these children reveal information they could not have obtained externally: names of distant villages, details of strangers they never met, or even circumstances of death later confirmed to be true. When investigators conducted field studies, they found remarkable consistency between the children's memories and real historical facts. These cases raise profound questions. Does human consciousness truly extend beyond a single lifetime? Could it continue in some form after death? Whatever the ultimate answer, the common features of children's past life memories have already become essential material for cross-cultural research. Across thousands of documented cases, researchers observed a striking pattern. Children's past life memories almost always begin to emerge around the age of 3. At this stage, while their language skills are still developing, they suddenly utter unfamiliar names, places, or even full narratives. Their expressions and tone often carry intense emotions, as if they are recalling genuine experiences rather than inventing imaginary play. Why the age of 3? Psychologists suggest that at this stage a child's brain is not yet fully shaped by social norms and formal education. Their thinking is closer to raw intuition, where the boundary between imagination and memory is still fluid. If past life memories truly exist, this may be the period when they surface most easily. However, as children grow older, these memories begin to fade. In most cases, by the age of 7 or 8, children no longer spontaneously speak about their past lives. Even when parents ask, they often respond vaguely, "I don't remember anymore." This forgetting process seems as natural as dreams dissolving at dawn. Dr. Stevenson emphasized that this emergence and fading pattern transcends cultures. Whether in rural India or urban America, children display this memory trajectory at roughly the same ages. This makes it difficult to dismiss the phenomenon as cultural suggestion or parental influence, but instead suggests a universal feature of human consciousness. This means that the value of children's past life memories lies not only in extraordinary individual cases, but also in their consistency and regularity. They resemble an invisible curve of time, quietly appearing and then fading within the child's developmental arc. And it is precisely this pattern that provides researchers with a foundation for further inquiry. Across numerous cases, researchers discovered that children's past life memories are not merely random fragments. Instead, they often follow recognizable patterns. The most common elements include statements about a previous name, place of residence, family members, and circumstances of death. These memories frequently surpass the scope of the child's real-life experiences, thus attracting strong academic interest. For instance, in India, Sri Lanka, and Myanmar, many children accurately identified specific family roles such as, "This is my brother," or "That is my mother." They could also describe unfamiliar villages in detail, as if intimately familiar with them. These children often insisted on going home and expressed a strong sense of belonging. Beyond identifying relatives and places, another striking pattern involves memories of the death scene. Children often recount how they died, sometimes through accidents, illness, or even violent events such as battles or murder. These recollections are frequently accompanied by strong emotions, occasionally surfacing as fear or recurring nightmares. Interestingly, these memories are often not isolated but correspond with birthmarks or physical features. For example, if the previous life ended through a stab wound, the child may be born with a birthmark at the corresponding spot. This mind-body correspondence adds both complexity and credibility to the research. Lastly, many cases include statements of specialized knowledge. Some children spoke dialects they had never learned, while others used technical terms far beyond their educational exposure. Such memories significantly reduce the likelihood of mere coincidence, providing further support for the hypothesis of rebirth. In cases of children with past life memories, beyond verbal accounts, their emotional responses and behavioral tendencies are among the most striking features. These reactions are not vague imaginations, but rather vivid, specific emotional patterns, often consistent with the experiences they claim from a previous life. One of the most common phenomena is fear responses. For example, if the previous life involved drowning, the child may exhibit an extreme aversion to water. If the past death was due to a car accident, the child may panic when approaching vehicles. Such fears go beyond ordinary childhood anxieties, resembling the re-emergence of deep trauma. Another striking pattern is behavioral preferences. Children may display strong interests or skills aligned with their alleged past lives. For example, a child who claimed to be a musician may show extraordinary musical ability without formal training, while one recalling life as a cook may exhibit unusual enthusiasm for cooking. Additionally, many children display unusual dietary or clothing preferences. They may reject common household foods while insisting on dishes popular only in another region. Some demand to wear clothing of particular colors or styles, as if continuing the lifestyle of their previous existence. Even more intriguing, some children display adult-like emotional depth. They may respond to discussions about death with unusual calmness, even consoling adults by saying, "Death is not to be feared." This maturity often astonishes parents and researchers alike, raising further questions about the origin of such emotions. These emotional and behavioral characteristics demonstrate that past life memory cases are not merely verbal narratives. They form a three-dimensional picture, intertwining physical, psychological, and cultural elements, offering researchers more solid grounds for observation. While such phenomena cannot be easily explained, they undeniably challenge our understanding of the human mind. In many cases of childhood past life memories, one of the most striking phenomena is the birthmarks that seem to correspond directly to the manner of death in a previous life. Researchers have found that these marks are often not just ordinary discolorations. Their cow shape, size, and location frequently match wounds or fatal injuries. For example, a child may have a small round mark on the shoulder, corresponding to a bullet entry wound from a previous life, while a larger irregular mark on the back matches the bullet's exit wound. Dr. Stevenson, over decades of research, collected hundreds of such cases. He compared these birthmarks with medical records and death certificates, finding astonishing correlations. It was not mere coincidence of appearance, but rather seemed like a huskar of death carried into rebirth. Even more intriguing, some children are born with physical deformities or missing fingers, which correspond directly to the injuries they claimed from a previous life. It is as though the body itself is silently remembering the trauma. Skeptics may argue that this is coincidence, or that people retroactively link a story to a mark. But when such cases accumulate, when a child's statements and bodily imprints converge, it becomes harder to dismiss them as chance. These birthmarks and bodily imprints stand as invisible windows, giving us glimpses of another possibility of life's continuation. They are not only a medical mystery, but also a whisper from the depths of existence, reminding us that death may not truly mean the end.